the topographic profile of Quebec that we're going to analyze using the Geocontext Center for Geographic Analysis website. So to begin, we'll just put a dot right here in the Hudson Bay and another one connecting to that dot over here in Maine. And so going right through the middle of Quebec. And so essentially what I've done is I created a line, and along that line we've also see at the bottom the topographic profile. So this is the above ground view. This is the kind of from the side view or the cross section view of Quebec. So as I go left to right, you can see that paw print on the map corresponds to my location on the profile. So we have the Hudson Bay, which is of course a lowland, and the nearby lowland areas here, which we're seeing that isostatic rebound. But this is the Canadian Shield. And so the Canadian Shield, at first you'd think, oh, this is relatively flat. This should be a good area for agriculture. Not so fast, my friend. What's going on here is you have very thin, rocky, crappy soils. And so subsequently, this is where we don't see a lot of ag, but a lot of evergreen, the boreal forest of Quebec, the boreal forest of Canada. What we also have is we can see a continental divide. And so right through here, the separation in terms of flow of rivers, of course, everything's going to go downhill towards the Arctic Ocean via the Hudson Bay. But on this side, we see everything going towards the St. Lawrence River, which then works its way to the Atlantic Ocean. So there's a good example of a continental divide that separates two different river basins. Also, what we have right through here, this valley, the St. Lawrence River Valley, is by far the core of Quebec, economically, politically, culturally, all kinds of ways. So that's where most of the people are going to live, and we can zoom into this particular area, and it is kind of flat. Yeah, it is rugged, but there is some flat areas, and so we're going to see a little bit of agriculture also here. But overwhelmingly, it's the role and the purpose of the river as far as transportation mechanism. It's key to understanding why we see so much settlement there in Quebec City and Montreal. We then come to the other side. What we have over here are the Appalachian Mountains. So the Appalachian Mountains are on one side of Quebec, and so Quebec does have, right through here, this is all part of Quebec, but then of course we get to Maine, and of course it's United States. These are here the Laurentides. This is just a really big mountainous feature right through here. The Laurentides, we'll talk a little bit about later on how they overlap into the United States and the Adirondack Mountains, but this here is by far the core area, and as you go farther away from this core area, which is protected on both sides by rugged features, you definitely get more remote, you get more isolated, you're away from that population core. And so what we're going to find out here are also the First Nations groups, and it's quite rural out in this particular area, less jobs, less industry.